is there a best practice or some sort of signal or trigger of it is time to sunset the IVR and move things over? I know it's
Yeah,
going to be very dependent, but is there
I think
anything
it's
to share?
yeah, I do think it's when, the complexity to manage is too great or the value of not doing it is too great, right? So, um, if you have you know, say you have a relatively complex IVR and you start picking off sort of use cases, right? And so if your IVR had 16 legs, right, and you knocked off four of them, right, at some point, um, now you're managing the IVR and you're managing the AI, right? Um, it probably does start making sense to, if we look at, converting the whole thing. And again, converting the whole thing could really, really simplify things, right? Whereas, again, we were talking about an IVR with 16 legs and changing that to, hi, welcome to XYZ company. How can we help you today? Just let us know. Just tell us what you're looking to do. And, you're going to answer some things via straight AI answers, that may go to a person. You may set up things that prepare people for a call, like collect a lot of information and provide it directly into their CRMs or workflow and ticketing systems or what have you. Or you might go right to a person, right? So instead of having tons of legs with tons of individual database interactions and stuff like that, you might be able to really really streamline it. Like, how can I help you today? And you know, I'll use an example. Like, everyone's used it, like a bank, right? Like, you know, I have credit cards with a bank. I have mortgages with a bank. I have, could be, long-term um, financing with a bank, or well, who knows? You might have like six products with a bank, right? And being able to, not, decipher which one of these 800 phone numbers am I going to call, right? And then once I get into there, enter in 16, you'll go down four different branches of trees and stuff like that. Just imagine, this is what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to get a, quote on my mortgage, and wow, you've already skipped, most of the spot, most of the push buttons and options and such already. But
Yeah.
I do think it's like when you're ready to simplify, once you're receiving value, you might be churning out, I don't want to say you're churning out excess cash because no customer service group is kind of extra, doing that. But doing it enough where you know you can bring in or start talking about sort of the wholesale change and moving it. It's not. Um, we talk. I talk a lot about. I call it artificial intimidations, different kind of AI. You don't need to know. Especially it was so new to me. Even a couple of years ago, I knew kind of what I wanted in my head, and I knew what I wanted the end to look like. I didn't necessarily need to know how everything was done sort of behind the scenes. Um, and the best part was, I mean, you rarely talk about it is having a great partner. And one of the best things in terms of working with AI was really that that entire partnership along the way of kind of walking us through, helping us understand, helping us how to tune, helping us what to look for. Uh, the entire analyst team is incredibly awesome. Um, and being able to take that information, kind of be able to understand sort of what the next steps are and such. You know, it's a highly underrated reason for selecting a partner, but that relationship piece was incredible. I've gotten to meet almost the entire team up and down the entire observe area just because of our work with them, and everybody's been fantastic too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you mentioned a point where, like, I think it was a banking reference where maybe they have six different products, and then customers are getting lost with the 800 numbers, and I don't know what to go for. But even before that, like if we take a step back, right? I think there's, be it IVR or be it AI agents, now that we're moving towards AI agents, sunsetting IVRs, in both situations, you talked about, low risk, high value use cases, but even to get to low risk, high value, I think you have so many different types of call intents or, why customers are contacting you about.
Yeah.
So from, those, I don't know, maybe tens or hundreds of intents, how do you like which teams have the data literacy to identify what to actually automate? And beyond that, even for the executives, how do they keep themselves informed about, hey, like these would be the intents we want to go after outside of the high level, this is a low risk, high value use case, but more looking at the transcript, looking at the entire member journey, like what kind of metrics are you looking for, which gives you that signal of, hey, I want to automate these three intents first, be it IVR, be it AI agent.
Yeah. So I think any decent contact center leader will tell you, they'll probably, on the Pareto side of things, they'll tell you the 20% that are driving 80% of your stuff, right? And it might be very, let's call it like single layered. I'll give a great example that you guys helped me out with, right? So, we know we had a disposition or reason for contact called, help with login, right? We also had a disposition for navigating the website. When we looked at like our data that was compiled, with Observe AI, and we looked at those dispositions, singularly they're, okay, they make up this X% of our call volume, and this makes up Y% of our call volume, what have you. But what was really cool to find out was how often they're layered on top of each other. We're only coding it as a single disposition. Oh, this person called about logging in. Oh, this person called about navigating. But we were able to go much deeper and like, okay, people actually called in, about logging in, who also needed to help navigate. Those calls were like 3.5 times longer than all of our other typical calls, right? Which meant that, it means a lot of things, right? It means like we're not, we could be doing a lot more education way up front of the entire value stream of about logging in and navigating and stuff, right? To get rid of these well before the customer, right? This is not even the call center stuff, right? It could be the product or the marketing or what have you. But then understand, like, so why is that the case, right? And then start asking those kind of questions of asking, of getting down to it. I do think, you should be able to say, pretty quickly, these are, this is a low risk, high impact type of, contact center. I could, if you gave me an industry, I could probably just spit you out what everybody's, generally what everybody's, simple one would be, right? And everyone should know it, but it's when you start getting into those next couple layers down, and understanding, what you could be looking at, which is again really why it's awesome, dump all your calls in, understanding what your the metric, the looking at, it was amazing when you looked at 100,000 calls, right, to understand different, it's slightly different than why they're calling, or calls that had the longest hold times or had the longest dead airs and all these other kind of factors, right? And look at it in a really simple dashboard way is incredibly powerful. And then if you're able to kind of move all that, understanding those things and then being able to apply them to your your automation or your eventual conversational IVR is really powerful.